Cheers.
Cheers.
The more I drink this, the more I like it.
I think it's a very easy sake to.
It is very easy.
It's like a worn shoe.
We've talked about that before, and no matter how much you say that, a worn shoe does not sound appealing to me.
It's because you're thinking of it from like a smell in visual sense, and I'm thinking it from a touch sense.
Yeah. Well, I don't touch my sake. I drink it. So.
Well, but you taste it. That's touching your tongue.
I don't taste a shoe, man. I'll never taste a worn. I would taste the new shoe, but I would not taste a worn-in shoe. That's for sure.
Actually, so my wife just bought me new shoes, and I'm wearing them for the first time today.
Why am I looking at your feet?
Why are you looking at my feet?
We're wearing socks because we're in Japan. My American is showing.
You goon.
For all those listening on the podcast, when Austin talked about his shoes, I looked down to look at his feet, even though we're inside in Japan.
So, my wife bought me new shoes, and today's the first day that I'm wearing them. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, they're super uncomfortable. Yeah. And the reason why is I just haven't broke them in yet. Yeah. Right? I need to wear them a few more times before it's like they fit the shape of my feet. Yeah. But my feet hurt right now. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's like a worn shoe. It's
that's why you were thinking about it. But
sugoi kimochi. That's how I feel.
I'll pay you $100 to never say that again in my presence. No, but actually that was a really good segue, because today we are going to be talking about
multiculturalism and culturalism. There we go.
Multiculturalism.
That was a hard word to say.
You've been drinking a little bit too much here. But no, it's funny because
it's a $4 word.
Oh my gosh.
You hear that term over in like big brain Massachusetts?
Yeah, I mean, not in that accent though. But
that sure is a $4 word.
Yeah. For what does that come? Is that like a Scrabble or something, or like where's the $4 come from?
I don't know.
Okay.
Do I look Southern to you?
I mean, maybe.
I'd probably be hanged if I wore this shirt in
I know.
In the South.
You fruitcake.
I'm very floral today.
Yeah, they actually lynched a decent amount of Greeks too back in the day. Anyways, not talking about that stuff. We're going to be talking about multiculturalism. And it's funny because, a lot of people, they look at me and say, "Oh, Arthur, you understand Japan so well. You speak Japanese fluently. You've really integrated into society." And I just looked at your feet to check out your shoes that you're not wearing because you're in Japan and I'm American.
You just failed the test.
I failed the test. It's like, did you ever see Inglourious Bastards? The movie?
Oh, yeah.
And the one where he calls for the 3 beers and he goes, "Drei Gläser." He does it like the British way when the Germans do it this way.
Yeah.
This is like, like I remember.
You would, if I was the Gestapo, you would be shot.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Because it's funny because when I saw that, because that is a big cultural thing. The Germans count with 1 as their thumb. So 1, 2, 3, right?
Okay.
And I remember when me and my family, we watched that movie, and the second the British guy did this, we all gasped like, "Oh my gosh, it's over. He's found out." Yeah. And then later on you find out. But it's like, so we're talking about multiculturalism because there's a lot more foreigners in Japan now.
Lots of foreigners.
And with the what's the Seisanto, like the Japanese political party, Seisanto, and then was it Takaichi has now been like elected, or she's been promoted to be in the final election.
Yeah, I was gonna say she hasn't been elected, and like
we're filming this in October.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But so Austin, what are your thoughts about multiculturalism in terms of Japan?
It's a complicated issue because I will say some pluses and minuses for it. Mm-hmm. So we'll start off with the pluses because I like to eat my dessert first. It's true. I've always hated the dessert second thing. I always start with dessert.
Yeah. Do you know why the desserts last?
I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, man.
I want to eat my dessert.
Oh, man.
I'll just bump knees with you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So, but I'm going to start out with the positives. Okay. Something that drives me insane here in Japan.
Yeah.
Is the fact that this is a cash-based society.
Although that's changing a lot, though.
Because I was going to segue into multiculturalism.
I'm sorry, man.
You stole my thunder.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's okay.
Bad dog.
I do it to you all the time. I kind of deserve it coming back at me every now and then. But no, so Japan for like basically ever has been a cash-based society. Like even up until COVID, it was still you had to bring cash.
Yeah.
Now I can confidently say I don't always carry cash on me.
Yeah, sometimes I don't bring my wallet outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you can use your phone for it now, right? And that changed after COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this is not a good thing for me to say, and I'm probably wrong about this, but I think the COVID era was very good for Japan in some aspects.
Well, okay, so what was really great about that whole period of like the whole COVID period is it kind of really showed you what the governments were really like, because we talk about how America is like land of the free, home of the brave, but they had police enforced lockdowns, but Japan did not have that. They legally could not do that, which is funny because you think about Japan as this stratified, rule-based society where things are a lot stricter, but people had a lot more freedom during COVID here.
And do you want to know why?
Why?
It's because Japan is not a multicultural society. Most of Japan. Let me rephrase this. People in Japan, foreigners included, mostly follow the same guidelines and code in society, right? Even as a foreigner, I am not Japanese. Arthur is not Japanese, but both of us make a pretty strong attempt at fitting into society here in Japan.
Yeah, try not to rock the boat too much.
Yeah, like I'm not fluent in Japanese, but I've picked up enough Japanese to speak conversations with people, to survive my daily life, to navigate adulthood. I make an effort to sort my garbage to an extent. I'm still not great at it, but like I make an attempt, right? I separate like the burnable, non-burnable cans and everything. Like I try to make sure that I'm paying my taxes. I try to make sure that I'm not, getting a late visa and like get out. Like basically, I do all the things that a good foreigner should do, right?
Right.
And so, because of that, during COVID, as soon as it started, like I remember things started to like show up in like January and February of 2019. Right? And
January, February 2020. COVID was 2020.
Yeah, sorry. January, February of 2020. And it wasn't like a big deal in Japan yet, but already the news was just like, hey guys, there's like this weird cold thing going on.
Yeah.
And we would advise people to wear a mask. And so what did everyone do the following Monday? They put on a mask. And then they wore masks until the government told them to stop wearing a mask. There was no forced agenda. If you didn't want to wear a mask, that was okay.
Yeah.
Nobody like really got on your case about it. Nobody like really pushed it on you. And it's just like, it just worked.
Yeah.
But like on the flip side, you look at the U.S. and U.S. was just in turmoil the entire
People
time.
Were like fascism, totalitarianism. You can't put a mask
on
my
sides,
face.
On both sides, right? One side was being like, you can't tell me to wear a mask. And the other side's like, you're literally threatening my life by not wearing a mask. You're the fascist, selfish person, And it's like, you got all these different cultures of people trying to like work together to solve a crisis. Whereas like you have Japan, which is kind of like a monolithic society.
Yeah.
Just being like, all right. Okay, well, we got to wear masks, so, let's not get each other sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's because you had those, like, common values that things just worked out well. Yeah, it's funny because, if you look online on, like, Twitter or on social media, all the conservative guys, when they hear about multiculturalism stuff in Japan, because now actually the issues with immigration and multiculturalism in Japan is making its way to the West.
Yes.
A lot of the conservative Western people are saying, no, Japan should stay a monoculture. You should not look at Europe. Don't be like Europe.
Yeah.
And it's funny that we talk about this because, I remember, so I grew up in Germany. Well, I didn't grow up in Germany. I lived there till I was 7. And that was like right at the beginning of the huge multiculturalism push, I think, is the early 90s. That was when the Berlin Wall fell and you had all this extra mixing. Everyone was so positive and, diversity is our strength.
Yeah.
And man, that's sounds like such an oxymoron now. But
hey guys, if you've watched this far, you're going to love our Austin and Arthur friends.
In the Austin and Arthur friends, you're going to really improve your English listening, and I mean a lot. As a friend of ours, you will get each episode ahead of time with no ads, so you can watch before anyone else. But not just that, you can ask us questions or leave comments, and we will make a special video each week answering questions and responding to comments. These videos will not be released publicly. They are for friends, members only. It's a great way for you to ask our opinions directly and for us to respond directly. You'll also get listening practice questions and answers that you can check. Answers are for friends, members only. Oh, and anaume mondai mo desu ne. So you can check your listening. But not just that, for each episode, you'll get a list of native phrases we said from the video, along with practice sentences and pronunciation practice to help your speaking as well. You'll also get access to a members-only community where you can talk with us, the both of us. Mainly me, right?
No, definitely not.
This is a great way to support our show, but also get closer to us and improve your English as well. For more information, click on the link in the description box, the gayorang, or go to our website, austinandarthur.com. I remember because I went to an international school and my friends growing up were from all over the world, and it worked for us because we were young kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just how society should be. And then I come to America and I saw all the tension. And I feel like, especially after I graduated college in like 2013, that's when the tension started to come up more. But, you know, even when I lived in Germany, a lot of Turkish people were coming to Germany, a lot of immigrants were coming in, and it wasn't that big of a deal. But, you know, it's been like 20, 25 years since I moved.
Yeah.
But now going back to Germany, it's completely different.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of societal problems because of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems, and you can see, like, you know, Japan's facing a lot of problems right now too. Like they've allowed immigrants in record numbers. For the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers have just been going up, and there's a lot of cultural clashes right now. Like I'll give you a good example that everybody in Kanto knows about.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to talk about Kawaguchi.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Oh, no.
So
NHK, don't censor us.
So it's just the reality. Like I have started working in North Tokyo quite a bit this past year. And so I get a lot of experience with people from Saitama, North Tokyo, like Kawaguchi, like all that area, and I've talked with them about it because, like, I've never lived there, so I don't really know what it's like. And basically, so for those that don't know, basically there's a big like Turkish population, Kurdish, sorry. There's a big Kurdish population that lives up like in Saitama, primarily around Kawaguchi, and Kurdish people are primarily Muslim.
Yeah.
Right? And there's just a big difference between Muslims and Japanese people.
Yeah.
Just how they go about their daily lives. There is a monumental difference in how they interact with each other.
Yeah.
How, like, societal norms, just like everything that you could possibly think of, they're almost opposites on.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, and then there is like some racism also involved with, like, you know, stereotypes towards Muslim people and just brown people in general. But also Muslims and how they view Asians.
Yeah.
Right. So there's racism going on both ends, and there's a lot of tension, and the crime rate has increased in Kawaguchi.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That is 100% because of multiculturalism.
Yeah.
God, man, I've been drinking
multiculturalism. Yeah.
It's undeniable.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing that happened in Germany. You know, Germany is getting less safe because of all the differences. I mean, it's happening in Sweden too, you know?
Yes. Yeah, it's happening in a lot of places in the world. in the world. Japan is one of those countries, much like Europe and much like America in about 30 years. Japan is a dying country.
Yeah.
Anybody who's in denial of that is just out of their mind.
The birth rate.
The birth rate was unsustainable 30 years ago.
Yeah.
We're reaching critical levels.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's 2040. I might be making it's either 2040 or 2050, but at that year, the number of people aged 60 years or older will be greater than the amount of people younger than 60 years.
Yeah.
That is like a death knell for society.
Yeah.
It's unsustainable. Something has to be done. And the reality is, people aren't going to suddenly just start having a lot more babies.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. So you have to bring in people from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So,
although I heard that actually in Mongolia, they kind of shifted that a little bit. They increased their birth rate, actually.
Okay.
And like so this kind of brings us back to the whole thing like you were talking about with, so one of the reasons why multiculturalism and accepting immigrants, like a lot of immigrants, is becoming popular for governments is because of the taxpayer base. Yeah. Because when you have too many old people, you don't have enough taxes being paid, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So how do you fix that? Well, you can get more people to come into your country, which is what Europe has been doing.
It's a stopgap.
Yeah. Ideally, though, because here's the thing, like Germany has great German culture.
Yep.
Japan has great Japanese culture. Sweden has great Swedish culture. And the ideal situation would be for the birth rates to increase.
Yeah. Well, do you know how you increase birth rates?
How?
I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial, but let give it a little time to breathe, and I'll explain where I'm coming from on this.
Okay.
The reason why birth rates are low is because women are working.
Okay.
And you can literally look historically on a graph of like when women got more rights, birth rates went way down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not advocating for women to lose rights. I'm gonna preface this by saying this. I'm not advocating for that, but what I am advocating for is when women started going to work, suddenly society shifted from a single income house to a dual income house.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with having kids, as you know and I know, is kids are really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Alongside the rest of your life is really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to support your kids, like, let me tell you right now, I am a single income household.
Yeah.
My wife is getting like some money from her work for maternity leave, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
I am providing most of the income for this house, and it's rough.
Yeah.
It's really rough.
Yeah, it is.
And so what needs to happen if we're talking about birth rates increasing is we need to go back to a single income household.
Yeah.
And so either women need to go and, adopt a more traditional lifestyle, or it needs to be more acceptable for men to take that role.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I've been thinking about this a lot because maybe I'm like uber conservative, whatever, but I see it that I don't want to say necessarily that I have a debt to my ancestors.
Okay.
But I feel like part of my responsibility is to continue the line. Yeah. Especially my dad kind of drilled that into me when I was a kid. You're the only male Zetas. If you don't have a son, the line dies with you. My dad first told me about that when I was like 6 or something like that.
That's funny.
But yeah, so the thing though is that, like you said, women getting more rights is a good thing.
Yeah.
We should all have rights. The thing is that, back, a lot of men tend to idealize the 50s. And that was a time when women had fewer options other than having kids.
Yep.
But there was a lot of abuse happening, and women could not easily leave those situations with abuse. Like they were like prisoners basically.
Yeah.
So we both agree that women working in the workforce is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it has the unintended consequence of lowering the birth rate.
It has the unintended consequence of lowering the birth rate, but I think the main problem is both the parents are working. I think if you're really to dilute what the problem is both parents are working.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so because of that, you ideally a family has one parent that's working, one parent that's at home.
Yeah.
As the primary caretaker of the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kids need a lot of attention. And look, I'm going to be honest. I work a full shift, and look, everyone who's a parent and works full time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You get home from work, and I'm coming home from an 8-hour work day. I'm tired. I just want to mellow out.
Yeah.
Like, I love my daughter, I love my wife, and I love my new baby girl. I don't want to go home and instantly just switch into dad mode and start playing. Like, I want to kind of mellow out. You know what I mean? And I think pretty much anybody who's a working parent feels that way.
Yeah.
It's not, it has nothing of me wanting to avoid my family. It's like, look,
you're just tired.
I need to decompress. I just had a full work day.
Yeah.
I just need to, you know?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Bringing this back into multiculturalism, there is some good things that are happening with Japan. I think one of the problems that Japan runs into, and as a foreigner, I think we can see it a lot more easy than a person who's Japanese. One of the things that you see being in Japanese society is people just kind of sink into the ways of this is how it's always been. Like, I'll give you a really good example is in work. Like, the regular working day in Japan is 9 hours.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, well, it's just been that way.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
So here's another thing though. So Japan is a society that traditionally does not value life. I think. And so because you had ritualized suicide in the Edo period. And you basically,
honestly, like that, I mean, it's only recently, like,
yeah.
I mean, if you go back like 20 or 30 years, it was still like,
yeah, well, that's
not
true.
Unheard of for CEOs to commit suicide.
Yeah, no, that's true. My dad, when he was working for an investment bank, back in the 80s.
I was just about to say, like, I want to say it was like 80s or 90s. I want to say it was the 90s is the CEO of Honda. Like, they just were doing really bad.
Yeah. And
so he killed himself. I think it's Honda.
Yeah. I don't know about the details about that, but I remember my dad, in the 80s had this client who was Japanese, and she told him a story about how this family, like, really, this person was a disgrace to their family, and they said, oh yeah, they should just kill themselves. You know? So I think that's where, like, the whole worker bee situation comes. But I think more than anything, what you really need is you need to value parenting more. Yeah. And the fact that, nowadays society is so values money and materialism.
Yep.
And that's the opposite of parenting, because you go a grade down when you parent. I would have such a nice life if I did not have kids, but I would not trade that in the world for anything. And now I live a very humble lifestyle because of it, But it's worth it because that is the most important job.
Yeah.
But the thing is that people don't see the value of parenting.
Yeah.
So that's why the government is resorting to bringing outside people in.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of anti-foreigner sentiment right now in Japan, but one of the things that I see as a real boon for Japan of all these foreigners coming in and, like, setting up lives here is parenting lifestyles.
Okay.
Because, and I think I'm going to primarily focus this on dads.
Okay.
Because I think moms are relatively pretty good here in Japan.
What do you mean?
Actual dedicated moms.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, if you're looking at, like, how Japanese moms treat their kids and care for their kids, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Generally speaking, of course, there's exceptions to that rule. But if you look at how much effort moms put into, like, I'm talking about, like, traditional stay-at-home moms. It's like they put a lot of effort into taking care of their kids. They do everything. to prepare their kid every day. They take care of them at home. They attend like the PTA meetings, like, you know, parent-teacher conferences. Who's the one that always comes? Mom.
Yeah.
Mom always comes.
Yeah.
Dad will maybe show up once a year.
Yeah.
But it's always mom. Mom is there every single time she needs to come to school, right? So I think moms are really kind of pulling their own weight here.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of are expected to from society, so they don't have a lot of choice in the matter. But I do think that Japanese moms. But what is one thing that you constantly hear here in Japan? I'll give you an example. I was changing my daughter's diaper, my first daughter, when she was a baby, and my aunt-in-law.
Yeah.
Is that how you say that?
So your wife's aunt.
My wife's aunt.
In-law.
So it'd be aunt-in-law?
Aunt-in-law.
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 It's
like, keep on going, man.
Asa, it's the aunt-in-law.
Keep on going, man.
Anyways, so my wife's aunt. It just feels weird to say aunt-in-law.
Yeah.
My wife's aunt was visiting our house here in Tokyo, and she was like, "You know how to change diapers?" Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah. It's easy. You take the old diaper off, you clean the butt, you put the new diaper on.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, my husband doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And I am not exaggerating when I say I can't count on my hands how many times that's been said to me.
Okay.
Like I'll go to Hoikuen, or like a child center on the weekend, and you know, I'll be with my daughter and I need to change her diaper, and you know, like moms that'll be like, "What? You know how to change diapers? My husband never does that."
Yeah.
And it's like that kind of thing. And I think a lot of foreigner influence here in Japan is, I'm not going to say guiding because that's a little pretentious, but I'm saying influencing younger Japanese men to be more active in parenting.
Well, you have like the whole like ikumen movement here of like the dads who like take care of their kids too.
And you know what? That's a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
I think dads should spend a lot of time with their kids.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like I love the idea that Japanese men here are really making an effort to remove that stereotype of they're just kind of lazy and they don't do anything. Right? Yeah. I love that stereotype is going away because it sucks. No one wants that stereotype, right?
No one wants like a distant father.
No one wants it. It sucks.
Yeah. No, I just, you know, it's funny because I think about, you know, my situation and how, you know, because I'm very flexible and I really try to make it a point to finish work early so that I can get home.
Sure.
Even if it like will hit our earnings a bit. But I was thinking, you know, if my wife made as much as I did, would I be willing to trade?
It'd be pretty great.
Yeah, well, that'd be pretty great. And I would love to go halvesies on everything, you know?
Oh my God. Man.
Like I would go more than halvesies on stuff because I would just be like, oh, I don't need to push to make more. I can just keep on going.
Yeah.
You know, like I would love, I mean, I understand that kids are a handful because I've taken care of my kids over a few days, weekends, whatever, but that's just like, that's the most important thing.
It really is. But yeah, so like I think it's hard to really have one position or another when it comes to multiculturalism because like it's so easy to look like it's so easy to look at Japan and see the problems that foreign influence has caused over the past, just even the past year.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you have streamers who are coming in and causing a lot of problems for people. You have you know, you have foreigners who either are tourists or have lived here a long time who are abusing their status as foreigners to kind of like cheat mode way through through daily life here. You have people who are illegally staying here, and look, I shouldn't give my political opinions on stuff. I don't like when people do illegal stays.
Yeah,
illegal immigration.
If you don't have a legal status here, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, because it's just not fair for people who have gone through the system. Because like I can say that because both of us have gone through the system and effort to do it. And yeah, we have a little bit of privilege being Americans. It's much easier for us to get a visa than it is for somebody from like Sri Lanka or the Philippines or something like that. That's absolutely true. But at the same time, it's like, go through the system, please.
Yeah.
Like, because when people get caught and when people break the rules, it affects all of us.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like you see that over in the US right now with like a lot of the immigration people who immigrate legally are being negatively impacted by illegal immigrants, right? So it's easy to look at multiculturalism as a bad thing. Of like, oh, this is just, look at all the problems it's causing. But you need to really kind of take it as a whole and kind of go, okay, well, look at the positive influences.
Well, so the thing is about that, right? So kind of like I talked about how, I went to international school when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And like, so my base is an international community.
Yeah.
But I really feel like if you have not grown up in a community like that, it is really hard to add that on later.
It is.
So I was blessed because I grew up with that. That was my default. But then, a lot of the issues that are happening in America, it's because people have not grown up with each other.
Yes.
They've come into contact after they've been adults and they've othered them,
Yeah.
But on the other hand, though, I really see, so one of the reasons I decided to move here was because I really liked the traditional Japanese culture. I really liked Japan because it was Japanese. I liked the Japanese culture. And every single culture has its good things. And, back in the 90s, people were talking about this one global mixing pot where everything mixes together. But there's got to be a way where people with different values can be patient with each other and not dig their heels in the ground about my way has to be right so that we can live together in peace. I don't know if that's possible. I wish there was a way for that.
Man, you just triggered a memory.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about growing up in like kind of a multicultural society, because I was thinking like it just instantly brought me back to high school.
Yeah.
And my group of friends in high school. So I had a black friends. I'm talking about my group that I hung out with every day. So I had a black friends. I had a Vietnamese friend. I had a Filipino friend. I had a Korean friend. So the West Coast has a lot of Asians.
Yeah.
So, and then my other friend was white, Italian, and then his girlfriend was German, like actual German, like imported over here, had the accent and everything.
Okay.
And so I hung out with them every day, and especially my Asian friends, but also my the girl who hung out in our group, the German girl, she would bring weird food in.
Oh yeah.
And I'm talking to like Germans eat weird food.
They
like
do eat
blood
weird food.
Sausage and like
it is very
weird stuff.
It is very weird.
But like I grew up on that. Like I hung out with them every day, and it's like my Asian friends would bring in like Asian cuisine, and it's like it was weird and foreign, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you get used to it to a point where, okay, I've seen you eat that every day. Like, let me try it. What does that taste like? And I think it really prepared me to live over here in Japan.
Yeah.
Because a lot of like, I don't eat seafood. I'm sorry. You judge me for it, and it's totally valid. I am a foreigner living in Japan, the place known for the best seafood in the world. I don't eat seafood. I'm ready to die on the cross. I'm ready to die on that cross. But it prepared me to be more adventurous here in Japan and accept things that are not like comfort to me or comfortable to me.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you an example of food that I thought I would never like. Basashi.
Basashi? Okay, yeah.
I love horse meat.
Yeah.
It tastes good.
It does.
Real good.
Yeah.
If you ask an American, do you want to try horse meat? They'll look at you like you just stabbed their mom. They'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you eat horse meat?
Yeah, right. Horses are so cute.
They're so cute and they do things and why would you do that? That you're killing an innocent animal, like all this crap. And you're just like, yeah, but cows also.
You eat cows and chickens.
Yeah. And it's like that kind of thing. And I think growing up and being exposed to different cultures is a great thing.
Yeah.
And it prepares you to embrace something that's out of your comfort zone. That is the best thing. And so at the end of the day, is it good that there's foreigners here? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, but then again, if those foreigners do not respect the culture that they're in, that causes problems too. Like we have to talk about the other sides. You can be accepting and respecting, but when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
That's the thing.
You have to respect that.
The thing.
Mutual respect is needed.
I think if we're to put a bow tie on it, because we're kind of running down on time. If you're to put a bow tie on it, there's two things that happen. People here, Japanese people, should embrace multiculturalism and go, this is great. Look at all these new things. Let's try and adapt some of this. But the people coming in, the foreigners, us and everybody else who's not Japanese, we need to adapt to Japan. Okay? This is not America.
Yeah.
I should not treat this like America.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And we're at time right now. So but I did. It's so funny because especially talking about like in Europe, I really wanted to talk about like Christian, Muslim like stuff that's been going back since the Crusades. Because really history is just repeating itself again. But we'll stop it here. But I really liked how you ended it. We don't have another topic up, but we'll have question and answer time for our Austin and Arthur friends.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys say. So after this episode, before we release it publicly, we're going to be sharing this with our friends and we'll get questions back. We'll make a members only video answering those questions. So make sure you ask questions.
Yeah. And if you're part of our AA friends, which you should totally sign up for because it's pretty awesome. And you should sign up
for... It's pretty Austin.
It's pretty Austin and Arthur. Yeah, you can see those questions. And if you sign up to our...
the platinum status.
You can even see us once a month.
You could talk with us.
And talk with us.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun. We had a really good good session last time.
So it's great now because like the same people show up every month. So it's like we're building like connections with them.
Well, you say that, but we actually got a lot of new people last time.
That's true. Yeah.
We had like 5 or 6 new people sign up for that, and that was really fun.
Yeah, I hope you show up this week.
So sign up for it. I want to see your faces and talk to you.
And with that, that's a wrap.
Good job.
Nice.